Hey everyone. Long time no see. I'm sorry, that was a terrible joke. um, anyway, so this is the video for Wednesday and today, Thursday. So Wednesday is actually War Machine, the stat card. So yay, my favorite. So let's see. Intelligence 5. Oh, I didn't realize that he was that smart. Not that he's. I ever thought he was dumb, but I didn't know he was that smart. So now I'm really interested to see, yeah, how smart Tony is. Because if you remember, Hank Pym is a 7, and we just had yesterday, Ronan the Accuser was a 4, and Spider-Man's a 4. So, interesting. Like I said, I didn't realize he was that smart. So that's pretty cool to learn. So his first appearance was Iron Man 118, January of 79. So, yeah, I feel like he's not going to appear in here because I feel like that's too late. Because they're going by like 73, 74, 75. So I'm pretty sure he won't be in this. Anyway, so strength 7. Oh, wow. I didn't realize he was that strong either. Speed 6, durability 6, energy 6, skills 6, or 7. Wow. Okay. Not that I don't like War Machine or anything, but of course, when you think armored superhero, immediately everyone's like, oh, Tony Stark, he's the best, which obviously. But you don't think about the fact that War Machine is like just as good. So I mean, for sure. Like I had kind of forgotten. So anyway, yeah, War Machine was played by Terrence Howard in the first Iron Man movie, and then he kind of basically shot himself in the foot, and from what I heard, demanded more money, and so therefore he got cut out of the film, and Don Cheadle replaced him. And you look back on like this entire like saga of the MCU and how many movies they've done, just thinking if he hadn't done that, he'd be in all of them. He would get all those paychecks instead of just the one paycheck where he was asking for more money, which, like I said, I don't know the whole situation. I don't, that's only the rumors that I've heard. Yeah, so he asked for more money, and I guess Marvel didn't think he was worth more money because he wasn't like a super popular actor. I don't know the whole story, but like I said, if that hadn't happened, we'd have Terrence Howard in all of these Marvel movies playing War Machine. So interesting. So for today, we have Nova. Oh, and Dazzler's still in the window watching the kitties, Longshot and Warren. I haven't seen Morph like since that one day. I assume, he's still coming around, but I am not positive. I hope he's still coming around because, you know, I mean, like I said, I had to do a double take because he was just so like, I thought it was long shot at first, but it wasn't. It was more. I mean, that's why I called him more because and I posted that picture on my YouTube, and yeah, because it looks like his face is in the middle of changing into something else, just the way of his coloring is placed. Anyway, so today is Nova, and so we already talked about the original Nova, Richard Rider. So the like another Nova is Sam Alexander, which um he was the one, because I talked about this in the Richard Rider Nova. He was the one that was in Ultimate Spider-Man, which I really liked that series. I thought it was a fun series, and he became a member of the Nova Corp, became Nova once he discovered his dad's helmet, and that's how he accesses the Nova Force because of his dad's helmet. Because his dad was telling him all these stories about how he used to be like a Nova Centurion and part of the Nova Corps, and well, Sam didn't believe him, which I don't blame him. I guess it sounds like a crazy story, and they were just like a normal family living in Arizona. and his dad was like the janitor at his high school. So I mean, I get it. So he actually trained with Watu, the Watcher, on the moon, and that's because when his dad disappeared, he discovered the helmet and discovered, the power it grants, and then he trained with Watu on the moon, and later discovered that his dad was still alive. So there's that, and then this. Oh, yeah. I mean, I kind of forgotten about him, but not because he's like, okay, well, let me explain. He's a character in one of my favorite comic book stories. So we have Man-Wolf. And this is from Amazing Spider-Man, or you find the stamp in Amazing Spider-Man number 147, August 75. Also appears in Cole the Destroyer number 15, August 74, in Amazing Spider-Man number 139, December 74. Okay, so before I show you where this image comes from, let me explain a little bit. So Man-Wolf is actually J.Jonah Jameson Jr., like J.Jonah Jameson, the third. Yes, that J.Jonah Jameson's son. So he was an astronaut, and he first met Spider-Man in Amazing Spider-Man 1. Because Spider-Man saved him when his spaceship, upon re-entry, was like breaking apart. And so, yeah, so he was saved by Spider-Man. So he always kind of, has had, since that day, he's had kind of a friendship with Spider-Man, even though his dad hates Spider-Man. And he's always trying to get his dad to, let up on Spider-Man. So anyway, as an astronaut, he's been to the moon, and on the moon he found this ruby, and it's actually, I think, called like the God Stone, and it like bonded to him, like clasped itself onto his throat, which is kind of weird to think about. Just this ruby that's like almost alive, just like all of a sudden jumps up and like grabs your throat. Sorry, Dazzler's in the window. She sees the kitties. Now she's pacing in the window. Sometimes they jump in the window with her, and they'll sit there and just stare at each other or talk to each other. But I mean, one Longshot jumped in the window, but then he got scared because he heard me talking. So anyway, so yeah, it jumped on like his throat, bonded to him, and he turns into like this Man-Wolf when moonlight is filtered through it. So he can't really control his transformation all the way. He basically takes on the form of a Man-Wolf. But he doesn't retain his like human intelligence or human speech. So there's unfortunately that drawback. And so what happened is that this ruby was actually created by this god who wanted to pass on his powers to someone else. And he, like most stories, he's been cured of being the Man-Wolf, but gone back to being the Man-Wolf so many times because he's been used by like villains or people that want to use him for their own purposes. So they've turned him back into the Man-Wolf. And in the other realm where the god is from that crafted the ruby, he actually has all of his powers. Like he retains his human intelligence, retains his human speech, and has all these other powers as well, like in that realm. So he stayed in that realm for quite a while, being its protector and learning more about, his story in the background of where this ruby came from. I believe no, I don't want to say that because I don't think that's right. I want to say like he called himself like Stargod or something, like once upon a time, but I can't remember if that was the god's name that crafted the ruby or not. Anyway, yeah, maybe it'll come to me later and I'll put it in the comments or a description. So, okay, why he's one of my favorite characters is because he ends up marrying She-Hulk. And one of the comics that I've done a video on is when She-Hulk gets engaged. And so, yeah, She-Hulk gets engaged to J. Jonah Jameson Jr. And it's fun. It's just a fun comic. I'll put it in the comments. And unfortunately, because they were manipulated into their feelings, they get, a divorce, an annulment later. And he pretty much after that, since she has decided no, she's done with him, goes off into space and has more adventures. Anyway, so one of the times where Man-Wolf was used and, gained his powers, his wolf form back, is when Morbius, the living vampire, turned him back into the Man-Wolf. So the image that they used for the stamp, of course, they modified it, and it is from Giant Size Superheroes #1. And you see Morbius there. And so Morbius turned him back into the Man-Wolf in hopes of finding a cure for himself. And I mean, I've not seen the movie Morbius because I heard it was pretty bad. Like, okay, I did watch Madam Web, so let me know if it's worse than Madam Web. If it's better than Madam Web, I'll probably watch it. But if it's worse than Madam Web, I mean, because Madam Web has been, I watched it, and that's one of those movies that I watched the one time, and I'm not going to watch it again. And honestly, when I was watching it, I got so bored and distracted that I started, like, doing other stuff. And then I thought, oh, wait, did I miss something? And then I had to, I had to rewind it and go back because I thought I'd missed something, but I didn't really miss anything. But I thought I did. Anyway, so yeah. So let me know if it's better than Madam Web, because if it's better, then I'll probably watch it. But I really liked the way he was portrayed in the original 90s Spider-Man cartoon, Morbius. Because, he was kind of this tortured character. He was trying to find a cure for his blood disease and ended up turning himself into, unfortunately, a vampire. And Spider-Man's been part of his, his cure. And he's been off and on cured, just kind of like Man-Wolf. I mean, they have to, the comic book writers have to make it more interesting, right? That he can't just stay completely not cured or completely cured. They have to toggle back and forth. So, yeah. So I really liked the way he was written there, as this kind of tragic character. And, there was a time when he fought crime and he, basically would only punish the guilty, with his using his powers, which kind of sounds like Doctor Strange's brother, Victor. That's kind of what it sounds like he did. So anyway, yeah, so Man-Thing, like I said, he's an interesting character, and all I can think of when I think of him is that story with She-Hulk, just because it was such a fun, unexpected story, and her being a lawyer also, J. Jonah Jameson asked if he can sue Spider-Man for withholding his identity when knowing all along that, of course, Spider-Man knew all along he was Peter Parker. This was kind of like after Civil War, if he can sue him for that. And so if you want to know the answer to that and how that kind of plays out, I'll put that video in the comments so you can check that video out. So, and I'm going to upload another Dazzler video this weekend, along with what if Galactus transformed Gambit, because I got that comic, and it was a fun, what if one-shot story, but I have a lot of questions. So I will be uploading those two on Saturday. So I will see you guys then. Until next time. Bye.